It was 1988, our very first episode of Motoring TV, and yes, I'm driving a Corvette. Not a very practical car for sure, but hey, it's a sports car. Either way, we said back then, moving ahead, Motoring TV can't be just about sexy cars. We had to strive to offer a balance of automobiles in all price ranges. Well, 27 years later, we're still on the air, so hopefully we're doing okay. I hope. Well, this week, forget about balance. It's all about horsepower and fun. And what better place to have fun than in Las Vegas, Nevada? Now, we're actually going to head into the desert about 40 miles to meet the star of this week's show. And that will be the 2015 Corvette. Not the Stingray, but the Z06. Simply put, the most powerful stock vehicle ever built by General Motors.
The 2015 Corvette Z06.
The Z06, people have been waiting for some time. When we introduced the Stingray last year and saw how great it was, its performance capability, the beauty, interior and exterior, people could hardly wait to see how we'd amp that up to a Z06 level. 650 horsepower, 650 foot-pounds of torque. You're able to get two transmissions for the first time in a Z06. And really, if you look at the world of exotic cars, supercars, 600-plus horsepower cars, almost nobody offers a choice of transmission. So we have a 7-speed rev-matching manual, and then the 8-speed automatic paddle shift. It's a very specialized engine. It's the only engine in the world with direct injection, variable valve timing, and cylinder deactivation in addition to a supercharger. A 0 to 60 under 3 seconds, cornering at production car records, 1.2 G, braking distances that actually shatter all production car records. I think that's why people are starting to call it a supercar. It's because it's one of the most capable cars on the planet, regardless of price.
I know design is subjective, and so many of the lines and curves of the Z06 may not be to everyone's liking. Personally, I like the look. Kurt Benyon is the designer of the Z06. He believes performance dictates design.
I would tell you, the performance requirements, we like to embrace those because a lot of time there's the design uniqueness, there's design opportunity within those performance requirements that we like to embrace and build upon. We work on the cars so much as a static model that, for us, it's a big thrill to be able to drive the cars. But we do have internally, a lot of wannabe drivers/racers within GM Design that are very passionate, as passionate as I am about driving.
If I just bought a Stingray, should I feel disappointed?
Absolutely not. The Stingray is a fantastic car. It's holding its value unbelievably well. It's a perfect car for many people. A lot of people don't need 650 horsepower, but we have one if people want it.
The Stingray has a very strong presence in that we didn't want to take away from that, but we wanted to build on that, but in a different way. The Z06 is definitely more track dedicated, but you have 3 levels of, let's say, track dedication that you can choose from. The Z06 is 40 mils wider per side than a Stingray. In fact, when we designed the back end of the Z06, it's a unique fascia to the Z06. We actually moved the tail lamps out 35 mils per side just to add to that wide look. And we really think that wide proportion really kind of gives a kind of an exotic flair, but a very track-orientated look. Gives the car a more serious look, I would say.
This Z06 has many personalities, and the exhaust note indicates the mood of the car and, of course, the driver. For instance, this is what it sounds like in the eco or touring mode. And then switch it to the sport or track. Oh my.
Historically, Z06s have been kind of pure track mission machines. So they had limited option availability, manual transmission, only fixed roof, no open air options. I think the big news this time is not only more performance, not only more accessible performance, meaning it's easy to drive near the limits, but also every available option is there. The engine actually operates in 3 different modes. It'll operate in 4 cylinders off boost, 8 cylinders off boost, and 8 cylinders on boost. And so it gives us the flexibility to get extraordinary fuel economy when you're not asking for high performance, and extraordinary performance when you're asking for that. I've been with GM for 36 years, and this is the highlight of that 36 years, 22 years on Corvette. And we've just been trying to make the car better and better and better, not just for the US market, but really for the global market. We're trying to make the car fully competitive in every way and really move it into the 21st century. And I think with the 7th generation car, either the Stingray or the Z06, I think we've accomplished a lot of that.
Everybody has their idea of what makes a perfect day. I'm thinking for many guys and girls, this might be it. A day in the desert, on a track, with the most powerful vehicle General Motors has ever put a for sale sign on. The Z06 truly belongs in the supercar club. There's so much about this car that we simply don't have time to cover. But you can bet that Graham will soon be sliding behind the wheel of this magnificent machine. Sorry for sounding a little gushy, but you know, along with the new pony cars, this really has been a year for horsepower, design, and vehicles that stand up and say, this is who I am, with no apologies. And I think that best describes the Z06.